Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Build Balance Flow. My name is Nikki. Today we are working on side crow. So we'll work with building a good, strong foundation, lots of cueing. If side crow is not something you're ready to practice, that's okay. You can fly into crow, or you can just kind of watch and get an idea for the foundation that's needed for this arm balance. It is an intermediate arm balance, so it's a little more difficult than the crow pose. We add a twist to it. The balance on your body is a little bit different, so go ahead and try it and see how you do if you want. It's always fun to play around and try different things and see how you do. And today we will get started in our child's pose. So big toes touching. Knees can be wide, or you can bring them in closer if that feels better for you. If your low back is a little stiff or tight, sometimes bringing the legs in close is a little more comfortable in that child's pose. And we're just going to focus for a few breaths on our breath. So as you inhale, think about how that breath feels filling your lungs, filling your lower back, spreading through your body. And as you exhale, start to release and relax. Start to soften your muscles. Start to let go. So if you're joining me today, especially if you're new to arm balances, but maybe if you've been doing them for a while, sometimes there's that fear of falling or hurting yourself with an arm balance, especially usually falling on your head. So try and let go of that fear. We'll focus on the practice, and we'll start to build ourselves up for the strength of side crow. We're going to take 2 more breaths. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, now is a great time to do that. On your next inhale, rise up into your tabletop. Bring your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, your spine is nice and long. We're going to start by spreading our fingers and pressing down into the fingertips. So especially with arm balances, we tend to put weight in our wrists, and then a lot of people have wrist pain or wrist problems. So we're going to focus today on shifting that weight into the fingertips, pressing them down, taking a little grip and being able to lift the heel of your hand up slightly here so that the weight is not all dumped in the heel of your hand and your wrist. And on your next inhale, let your belly drop, head and hips rise. Press down into the earth and arch your back up to the sky. We're going to do about 4 cat-cows here. Warming up the spine. So when we're in crow and also in side crow, to help so you're not putting pressure on your arms, we will think about lifting up in our center of gravity. So right here in our torso, lifting up, and then also lifting up through the middle of the spine and the shoulders to kind of round the back. So that cat position is going to help us prepare for side crow. We'll be doing a lot of twists today as well because we are coming into a twist in that arm balance. On your next inhale, come back into that tabletop position. Press your weight into your left hand and your right knee and top of your foot, and reach your right arm and left leg out as you inhale. Exhale back into tabletop and switch. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale into tabletop. 1 more each side, and then we're going to add a little core work because of course you have to build up a strong core for the arm balances, and that'll just be a knee to elbow. So right arm, left leg, reach out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Really curl your back into that cat position. Inhale to lengthen everything out, and then back into tabletop. Switch sides. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, back to tabletop. 2 more each side here. Take your time, work with your breath. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, really curl it in. And when you come into that tabletop, you want to make sure your weight is in all 4 limbs before you shift it to the other hand and knee. We have about 1 more. One of the disadvantages of teaching live on Facebook is that I don't get to see you guys, so I don't see where you're at in the flow. So I just kind of talk through it and hope we're at the same spot. And find your way back into that tabletop position. We're going to come into down dog. So walk your hands forward a little bit if you need to. Spread the fingers, press into your fingertips and your knuckles. Lift up through the heels of the hand. Tuck your toes, hips come up and back. Find your down dog. And take about 4 rounds of breath here. You really want to get the legs moving. So there's a lot of prep work. And with class being 45 minutes, I'm probably going to there's going to be a lot of movement. So we want to get the body moving and get the legs moving and get everything, blood flowing, everything moving and grooving. And while you are moving your body there, so some of the advantages of side crow is that it strengthens your wrists, your arms, your shoulders, your core, your spine. It stretches your upper back and your groin. It improves flexibility in your spine and low back, improves your balance. Twisting your torso massages your organs, improves digestion and detoxification. And it also strengthens and tones your side body, your obliques. So lots of advantages doing this difficult pose. And I think we're done with that movement in that down dog. So you're going to shift forward into your plank and pause here. And you can be knees up or knees down. It depends what feels good for you. Either's a great option. If knees are down, the spine stays long and the wrists stay over the shoulders, so your hips don't sink back here into more of a tabletop. We're going to take 2 rounds of breath, pressing into the fingertips, lengthening out through the spine. If your knees are lifted, lift up through the back of the knees a little bit more, like they're lifting up towards the ceiling, and your gaze is down at the top of your mat. On your next exhale, you're going to press back to that down dog. Shift forward into plank. Exhale back to down dog. We've got 2 more like that. Plank, which is an excellent core strengthening pose, and down dog, and really works the entire body. Shift back to plank, and back to down dog. And from here, you're going to shift your weight into your left hand. Take your right hand, reach for that left leg. So maybe you're reaching for your thigh, your calf, maybe your ankle, maybe peeking underneath your armpit as well. And you've got 1 more round of breath here. Just our first little twist today. We're going to have a lot of them. And then come back into your tabletop. Switch sides. Weight comes into that right hand. Reach back with your left hand for that right leg. Find a nice twist and just breathe. And come back into down dog. Glance up at your hands. Weight is in your fingertips. Step forward and fold here. And just pause for a few breaths. Let your head hang nice and heavy. You want to sway side to side. Whatever's feeling nice here, you want to think of your head just lengthening out the spine so it's nice and heavy, and it's just putting a little weight, a little gravity to create space between the vertebrae. and then gently roll it up nice and slow. Stack them one on top of the other. Bring your heels a little bit inward under your hips. Shrug the shoulders back a few times. And take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, twist it to the right. So twist is going to come from your waist. You can bend the elbows or arms long and come up to center. And then exhale, twist it to the left. Back up to center, and then fold forward. Halfway lift, nice long spine. And fold. Press through your feet, rise up. Exhale, twist it to the right, keeping the hips square to the front. Come on back up. And to the left. Come on back up. Fold it forward, and we're going to take a twist with our half lift. So halfway lift, fingers to blocks of the ground. Right fingers reach up to your hip or to the sky. Let that hand float down and switch to the left. Let that hand come down and fold forward. Rise all the way up. Twist to the right. Back to center. Twist to the left. Back to center. Fold it forward. Halfway lift. Right fingers reach up to twist. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Left fingers reach to twist. And fold forward. Plant your hands and step your right foot back, coming into a nice lunge. So you can keep your knee lifted or lower it down, and you're going to rise up into a nice low lunge here. And we're just going to pause and get set up. So always working on that foundation, pressing down into all four corners of the left foot. Knee is in line with your toes, hips square up, and that left or right knee might bend a little bit here. Shoulder blades slide down your back, fingers are engaged. So another area that needs to be strong in our arm balances is our shoulder girdle. So as you're reaching up, imagine your shoulder blades sliding down your back, rotating the arms in slightly, shoulder blades squeezing towards each other, shoulders away from the ears. Got it on your next exhale. Fold forward, plant your right hand, left hand comes to your hip or the sky. Take a nice twist here. Take a couple breaths so that left hand can be on your hip. You can reach for the sky. You can wrap it around your lower back, taking a little half bind, opening up your shoulder a little bit more if that feels good as well. If you did wrap that arm around your back, reach it back up to the sky on your inhale. Exhale, plant your hand to frame your foot, step back to your down dog. Shift forward into your plank. Hug your elbows in, lower all the way down to your belly. We're gonna start with cobra to make sure that back is nice and warm. Shrug the shoulders back, lift your heart, hugging the elbows in, shoulder blades slide down the back. Press back to down dog. Right foot steps forward into a lunge. Left foot steps up to meet it. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center and fold forward. Halfway lift with a twist. Right fingers reach up. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, left fingers reach up and fold. Plant your hands, step your left foot back, rise into that lunge. Feel free to lower the back knee. We're going to take a few breaths here to really get set up. Nice deep breaths, knees in line with your toe, shoulder blades slide down the back. Arms turn in slightly, your pinkies maybe say hello to each other. And we're having a great time in class, so the corners of your mouth are going to turn up a little bit here. On your next exhale, fold forward, plant the left hand, right fingers reach up for that twist, and your arm is your option, so whatever feels good here. Take a couple of breaths. And this is your practice, so please listen to your body. Do what your body needs today. I want you to challenge yourself, but not hurt yourself. So work with where you're at today in your practice. And reach up to the sky. Let your hand come down to frame your foot. Step back to down dog. Shift forward into your plank, toes or knees. Weights in your fingertips as you hug the elbows and lower down. Shrug the shoulders back, lifting the heart, and press back to down dog. Weight still in the fingertips. Left foot steps forward to lunge, right foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise. Exhale, twist it to the right. Make that twist come from the waist. Come on back up to center and to the left. Back up to center and fold forward. Halfway lift, right fingers reach to the sky and fold. Halfway lift, left fingers reach up and fold. Plant your hands, right foot steps back, rise into a lunge. And then you're going to hinge forward, plant the right hand, left fingers reach up to the sky. Inhale, rise back up into that lunge. Exhale, hinge forward, take that twist. One more time, inhale back to your lunge. Exhale, take that twist. Plant your left hand, step back to down dog. Shift forward into your plank, hug your elbows in, lower down. Weight in your fingertips. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale to down dog. Right foot steps forward into that lunge. Left foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise. Twist it to the right. Back to center. Twist it to the left. Back to center and fold forward. Last time through that half lift twist. Halfway lift, right arms up and fold. Halfway lift, left fingers reach and fold. Left foot steps back, rise into your lunge. Hinge forward, plant the left hand, right fingers reach up for twist. Inhale, rise back up into your lunge. Fold forward, plant your hand, twist. Root down into that right foot to rise up. One more time. And plant your hands, step back to down dog. Shift into plank. Hug the elbows to lower down. Shoulders shrug back and lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Weight is in the fingertips. And I'm going to be cueing that all day. And then left foot steps up to meet right. Left foot steps up to lunge. Right foot steps up to meet left. Rise up, take that twist to the right. Back to center. Twist to the left. Back to center. Hands to heart. Sit your hips back, coming into chair pose. So pause here. And we're going to keep the hands at our heart. So sometimes you'll bring your arms forward or up. We're going to keep them at the heart because we want to work on that shoulder girdle. So palms press into each other. Shoulder blades shrug away from the ears. Shoulder blades slide down the back. Keep pressing your palms together to engage the arms and the shoulders. Spine stays long as you sit your hips back. So your weight isn't completely in your heels. You'll want a little bit of weight in your balls of your feet so you don't fall back completely, but you want to be able to wiggle your toes and have more weight in the heels than the balls of the feet. It's very easy for this tailbone to tilt up, so engage the lower abs. Pull that tailbone in. And we're going to stay here for one more round of breath because I know you all love chair. And on your inhale, rise up, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Right foot steps back to lunge and rise up into that lunge. Fold forward, plant your hand, take that twist. Inhale to rise up, and we're going to come into a prayer twist. So hands come down to your heart. Spine is long. Twist from the waist. Feel free to lower the right knee if you need to. Twist from the waist. And then lean down to the right. And your elbow can come inside or outside of your thigh. We're going to be here 3 rounds of breath, so make sure you're breathing nice and deep. Palms keep pressing into each other. If your palms start coming up towards your left shoulder, you'll want to lessen your twist. Rising up a little bit, taking your elbow to your thigh or the inside of your thigh. If your knee is falling into the right, you want to lessen that twist so you don't put extra pressure on your hip and your knee and your ankle, causing some repetitive strain. On your next inhale, rise back up into your lunge. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to down dog. We're going to mix it up here a bit, guys. Lift your right leg. And then you're going to shift forward into your plank. So if you need to, you can lower that knee. And then come back up, 3-legged dog. And this time when you come into plank, you're going to bring your knee into your nose. Curl your back like a cat. And lengthen it out. And then one more time, curl your back, knee to nose. And lengthen that out. And then come back into one-legged plank. Hug the elbows in and lower down. Shrug the shoulders back to lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Right foot steps up to meet left, or right foot steps up to lunge. Turn in your left heel. Rise up into your warrior 2. And just take a pause here. So you want your knee in line with your toe. Press into the outer edge of that left foot. Shoulders shrug back. Shoulder blades hug into each other. Fingers are long and strong, really reaching. Gaze over the right fingertips. Inhale, reach up for the sky. Lengthen the right leg. Keep that leg long as you open your arms up. We're coming into triangle pose, so if you need to grab a prop, go ahead. Reach your right fingers forward, push back on that left hip a bit, and let your right hand come down to your shin or your block or the ground. You want to keep a nice long line all the way through. So even if you can't reach the ground, that's okay. You want to keep the spine long, nice continuous line, lengthening through the crown of the head, really pressing into the outer edge of that left foot. And you can stay here, or you can add a twist. So if you're going to take that twist, you're going to take that left hand, bring it to your block or the ground. Right hand comes to your hip or the sky. Your shoulders are stacked, and you're breathing nice and deep, and that twist, again, is coming from the waist. So if this is too intense, you can take the right hand back down to the ground. You can come back into your triangle pose. We're just going to take one more round of breath as I almost fall over there. And if you're twisted, you're going to take the right hand down to the ground. Left fingers reach back up. Rise up into triangle. Flip the right palm. Reach your fingers up and back. Lengthening out the right side of the body for a breath. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Step your left foot up to meet right. Rise up. Exhale, twist it to the right. And come back to center. Twist it to the left. Come back to center. Fold forward. Step your left foot back and rise into that lunge. Sweep your fingers down and back. Take that twist. Come back up into your lunge. Hands come down to your heart. Here's where we're going to come into that prayer twist again, so feel free to lower your left knee if you'd like a little extra support here. Lengthen up through the spine. Twist from the waist to the left or right. And then lean towards the left, elbow inside, on top, or outside of that thigh. So again, you want your shoulders, your hands right at your heart center. So if your hands are coming out towards the right shoulder, lessen your twist. Take a peek down. If your knee is falling into the left, go ahead and lessen the twist as well, so you don't torque that knee and that hip and cause some problems with your leg later on. Take one more breath wherever you're at. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. Rise back into your lunge. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to your down dog. Float your left leg. Doesn't have to come high, toes and hip bones face down and fingers, weights in the fingertips, right? Of course. Shift forward into plank, left leg stays float. Back to down dog. Here's where we're gonna add that core work. So come back into your plank, knee to nose, curling your back, and lengthen it out. One more time, knee to nose, and lengthen it out. Good, keep that leg floating, come into your lunge, your plank, hug your elbows, lower down, shrug your shoulders back to lift your heart, press back to down dog. Left foot steps up to lunge, turn in the right heel, open up warrior two. Good, so get set up here, knee in line with your toe, shrug the shoulder blades down the back. Fingers are strong and reaching. Gaze comes over the left fingertips. Inhale, reach for the sky, lengthen that leg. Keep the leg long as you open the arms back up. Reach forward with the left fingers, kick back on the right hip. Fingertips come to your shin or block or the ground, and pause here. So if you'd like a little more lengthening of the side body, you can take that right arm to your ear, lengthening everything out, still pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. Lengthening through the crown of the head, nice deep breaths. Stay here or add that twist. Taking your right hand down to the ground or the block, left hand comes to your hip or the sky, and again that twist comes from the waist. Not from the shoulders, but from right here at the waist. One more breath wherever you're at. Big inhale. Big exhale. If you're twisted, let your left hand come down. Right fingers reach up. Sweep the left fingers up and back to dance your triangle and lengthen out the left side of the body. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Right foot steps up to meet left and rise up. Hands to heart. We're going to do a few more exercises to get kind of ready for that side crow. Yay! So we're going to do a little core work. We're going to do some chaturanga work. And it'll just be a few minutes, and then we'll start playing around with side crow. So you're going to inhale, reach for the sky, and fold it forward. Plant your hands, root down into the fingertips. Step back to your plank. So again, toes or knees, either one is a great option, and you can still do a wonderful, strong, challenging chaturanga with knees down. Weight stays in the fingertips. Hug your elbows in. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Relax your jaw. And you're going to lower about halfway. So you want your elbows to be hugging into the rib cage right here. So elbows do not come above the rib cage. They just hug right in there about the same level. And everyone's chaturanga looks different because everyone's arms are a different length. So it's okay. You just want to think of it right there at your the same height as your body. Hugging in nice and tight to the ribs. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Lengthen through the spine. Keep your gaze focused down on the mat. Keeping the neck long. And on your next exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Shrug the shoulders back, lift your heart, and press back to down dog. We're gonna do that one more time, not hold quite as long. We're gonna add a couple push-ups into it too if you'd like. So shift into your plank, toes or knees, weight into the fingertips. Hug the elbows in, lower halfway and pause. Hug those elbows into your rib cage. And you can stay here or press into the fingertips to lengthen the elbows. And then come back down. If you want to add a couple more push-ups, bring it up and back down. One more time with the push-ups, lengthen the elbows, come back halfway down, then lower all the way down to your belly, shrug the shoulders back, lift the heart, press back to down dog. You can step or hop your feet forward, bend your knees, and come on down. We're coming into fantastic boat pose, so we're just going to do a little bit of core work here. So a few options. First, we're going to hold boat for a minute. Yay! So hands can be right here, fingers facing forward, feet can be on the ground. You want the spine nice and long. It's very easy in boat pose to let that back curl in. You want to keep lengthening it. So even if that means bringing your feet down or your hands down, that's the best option so you can keep your spine long. Try not to compromise form for what we think of as perfection. So feet can come up, arms can come up. Keep that spine long. So if I'm here and I feel my back start to curl in, I can take my hands down. The clock is ticking and you're breathing nice and deep. Pull that breath all the way into your belly. Exhale, release some tension in your jaw, in your shoulders. Nice deep breaths. You guys are doing amazing. This is not an easy pose to hold. So again, keep lengthening through the spine. Hands can come down to the ground. Feet can come down to the ground. Listen to your body. You are almost there. You have 15 seconds left. Woo, woo, woo. Yay! I know core work, especially towards the end of class, we throw core work in the end of class and it's like, seriously? You're already nice and tired. And release. So take a moment, lower the feet if they're lifted, give your legs a hug, and then this time do curl that back in just a moment. And we have one more core work, and it's rowing your boat. So a few options here. So the most challenging of this pose is you're going to lean back, arms come by your side, legs come long, and then rise back up. Or you can also take arms overhead, rise back up, keeping that spine long. Hands can come down, feet can come down. You just want to keep the spine long. And we're starting in 2 and 1. So exhale as you come down, inhale, or exhale as you come up, inhale as you come down. Hug the legs in nice and close. Relax the jaw. Imagine a ball between your chin and your chest. Keep breathing, you're doing awesome. You're about halfway there. So I always like to tell people, I don't like to do crunches in classes because when you're working hard, sometimes you'll grab your head and start pulling your head forward. So that's just gonna strain your neck. It's not really working the abdominals. So I always tell people, keep a nice space between your chin and your chest. Lengthen through the neck. Imagine you have an orange there and you don't want to smash it and get orange juice all over you and get all sticky gross. So you want to just hold it gently so you don't drop it, but you don't squeeze it. And you've got 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Go ahead and give those knees a hug, or if you want to come down to your back and kind of hug the knees and rock side to side, that's okay as well. For side crow, so if you're just working on crow pose and you just want to stick with crow pose, that's okay. You can grab a block for some support if you need it. Side crow, if you've never done it before, or you just started working on it, I like to take a block and I'll let my heels perch on the block. So I'll take the balls of my feet right here, and then we'll come into that chair pose. That's similar to that chair pose. And we're going to sink nice and deep. And then you're going to twist to, I'm twisting to my left, and bring your hands down and sink your hips. So this keeps my heels lifted. If that's not working for you, if that's not comfortable, just keep staying up on the balls of the feet. And then you're going to twist and you're going to bring your hands down. You're going to shift your weight forward just a little bit. Fingers, so you can get your palms flat. Fingers are spread, and weight in your fingertips, right? Of course, weight in the fingertips to take the pressure off of the wrists. Hug the elbows in. You'll want your wrist to stay elbow or shoulder distance. Elbows to stay hugged in. It's going to help you with your foundation for this pose. You're going to shift forward, and you're going to press your, I'm pressing my right leg, or my left leg, into my right arm. Elbows hugged in. Start to bend the elbows and lean forward a bit. So you can just play around right there. Holding it here. Holding the elbows in. So in two options, you can use both arms as a shelf, having up by your knee on the front arm and having your hip on the back arm if that's comfortable for you, or you can just keep the leg on the front arm. Whichever option you choose, you want to keep lifting up through the core so you do have a little pressure on that arm, but you're not totally just hanging out all your weight on your arm. You're going to end up falling, you're going to end up hurting yourself that way. So still lifting up through the core, lifting up through the body. Arching the back a bit in that cat pose, lifting, opening up the collarbones, lifting up through the back. And from here, for me, it's easier to lift my bottom leg first, elbows hug in, lift my top, squeeze my feet together, spread my toes, keeping the weight into the fingertips, hugging the elbows in, and you're breathing, breathing, breathing. And sometimes it's easier, especially if you haven't quite gotten the confidence to fully fly, to take a block, put it underneath the side of your head. If you're still in that side crow, take one more breath. If not, wherever you're at, take a nice big breath, and we're going to go to the other side because we have to get nice and even. Fantastic. Let's get set up on the other side. So if you want that block underneath your heels here, I like to come up to the balls of my feet. Hands to the heart, shoulders shrug back. Twist it. I'm twisting to my right this time. Hands come down to the ground, and you're hugging that leg into your upper arm. Fingers spread, weight into your fingertips, bend the elbows, hug them in. Shift your weight forward. Hug them in, open up the upper back, spread the toes, hug the legs in. Nice deep breaths. If you're feeling pretty confident here, you can do an extended side crow where you lengthen out your legs. You can even take that top leg and try to sweep it back a bit. Let's see if I got that on this side today. Some days, if you're like me, some days I can really rock it, and other days my body's like, no, it is not happening today, Nikki. So again, work with your body, be patient with your body, work with where you're at. Come on down if you're still in that side crow. Fantastic. Let's take a couple more breaths if you want to play around a little bit more. I like to sometimes call that one ninja crow, ninja side crow as well. And take about one more breath wherever you're at. And let's come on to a nice seat and take a couple breaths. Grab a drink if you need it. We're gonna cool it down and stretch it out. So side crow is very difficult. It is an intermediate pose. So if you didn't get it today, that is okay. Or if you got it today and tomorrow you don't get it, that's okay as well. These poses take practice and they take work. Arm balances are my favorite, and I can tell you from experience, like flying pigeon, it took me probably 6 months of working on it almost every day before I could really fly, float my back leg and everything. So definitely don't give up. You got to put in the work to get to the prize. But keep practicing, keep focusing, keep breathing, and keep working on it. Next week, we're going to work on a variation of side crow, and it's called Fallen Angel. And I put a picture out there, but let's see, I'll show you guys real quick while you're taking a breath. So you come into that side crow, and you bring your head down towards the ground, and then you lift your legs, and you float them up straight to the ceiling. And again, that's a nice one to put a block for some support on the side as well. So we can have fun, play around, and see how we do with that next week. Let's take the legs nice and long out in front of us. Flex your feet, find your sit bones. Inhale to reach up and then fold forward. Let your hands float down wherever it's comfortable. And just breathe nice and deep. Feel free to bend the knees. If that feels good on the low back or the hamstrings. And guys, if you have any questions, if there's something you want to work on, something you didn't get, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to chat with you. We can do it virtually. We can meet somewhere and do it, social distance. However you want to do it. And I think I'm going to put out there, I think I'm going to do an hour-long class with some arm balances, working on arm balances, and we'll do it through either Zoom or Google Meet, which is a new platform I'm checking into, so that I can see you guys as well, and I can give you some tips and some pointers as we're doing it. So if you're interested in that, look on my Instagram and my Facebook page for a story, and then you can vote on there as well. Let's gently roll up, and we're just going to take a seated pigeon real quick here. So bring your feet down to the mat. Hands come behind you like our boat pose. We're not doing boat. Bend the elbows. Take your right ankle in front of your left thigh. Flex your foot, and then bring your chest towards your thighs. And if you're not really feeling it here, you can bring your left foot in more. You can bring your hips closer to that left foot. Just keep the right foot flexed and breathe nice and deep here. Let's take 2 more breaths. Gently release it and switch legs. Find what's comfortable with the left leg in front, foot is flexed. Guys, if you'd like to see me in person, if you want to get out and about a bit, I'll be teaching live at Ballpark Village on Sunday at 11 a.m. It's a free class. There is a space to register. It's on you can click on my Facebook page. I posted it yesterday. You'll just need to sign a waiver. It's taught through One Life Fitness at Ballpark Village, 11 a.m. We're going to be outside, and it should be a good fun time. And then you also, if you register online, you get 20% off at Sport and Social St. Louis afterwards. Go ahead and release. Take your feet to the mat. Gently roll down onto your back. Arms come out to your side. Take your feet about mat distance, and we're just going to windshield wiper the legs. So exhale, let them fall over to the left. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Just do a couple of these, and you want to think of massaging your lower back as you're doing it. So weights in the outer part of your low back. Come through center, and then it shifts over or rolls over to the right side, and then rolls back through center. Let's go one more time each side. So with a lot of twists, and especially some deep twists, you may have some discomfort or some tightness in your low back. So twists, those gentle twists are very nice for that. Hugging your knees in is a really nice option for that as well. Or where we're going to take our Shavasana today is a great option. And you'll bend your knees, lift your hips, take a prop, either a block or a cushion or a rolled up blanket, put it underneath the low back, lift your shoulders, shrug them back, and settle in. Since we are at time, I'm going to go ahead, I'll tell you as soon as I'm done talking to go ahead and turn the video off so you can take as much time as you need in your Shavasana. While you're there, while you're laying there, focus on your breath. Let your mind, let your body rest and relax. You did a lot of stuff today, so let your mind just kind of absorb it all in and take it all in and digest it all. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions, need some help with anything, please reach out and let me know. From my heart to yours, friends, please stay well, spread love, spread kindness, give an extra smile today. See you soon.